Good morning. Wait, oh, we're afternoon. Afternoon.
Hi.
Hi.
So I know Nancy called me just a little bit ago, and I've been like back to back to back. Um, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hanging in there. How's your week been? Busy?
A little bit. I'm trying to fix my hair because I had it up in a bun. I took a shower today, put makeup on, got
Oh my
dressed.
God.
I'm like, wow, it's a good day,
You're real world today. I have
right?
not
Yeah.
done all that.
I had a presentation for a group for this year, a sporting group, and it's for December. And I'm like, it was 8 of them or 9 of them against me. So at first I was intimidated, and then I was like, I'm the only one talking. I'm like, any questions? I was trying to kind of get it out, but
Nothing?
yeah, I'm like, all right, that's it. Let me send you the contract then. Don't worry about it. No questions, even better. So
Yeah. We'll see you in
yeah.
December, right?
Exactly. Don't worry about it. We'll figure things out as we go. Kelly, they wanted to get in at 12:30, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. And in the meantime, let me go and print out my material, and then prepare the video. So I'll cue the Puerto Rico video. Um, gosh, how you been? How's this week been for you? How are things in Georgia now that they're letting crazy people out?
I I don't go out. Actually, so my husband and I decided that we're going to downsize. So
Okay.
my youngest daughter flew in because she's got time on her hands right now. And we've been taking 25 years worth of growing up in a house
Wow.
and trying to clean it up.
At that point, you start uncovering. I can't even imagine
Oh my God.
history.
It's overwhelming at times.
Oh, completely.
So we're down to we're selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace because we're like we're gonna downsize. We're not gonna need this, and so
Right.
we've got a big dumpster in our driveway that's probably two, maybe a half full.
That is,
Crazy.
and the thing is, then you get rid of some of the stuff, and then eventually you're like, crap. I would have used it. Now is when you need to use it.
Yeah,
That's gonna happen.
exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what area or what? Like, do you
No.
have anything in mind? You're just
Nope.
let's start wiping everything and then figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of organically going along.
Right. Well, it is smart in the sense that you will get prime right now, not only dollars, but the real estate market is hot.
Yeah.
Like, mind you, that's one of my other trades, real estate. I love real estate investment. And that has been like you can place offers and you're going to get multiple offers. Rates are as low, investors are out there, people are buying as they still have jobs, they want to use that
Right.
to take advantage
Right.
of the low rates. It doesn't matter if the property values decrease, because you're locking in such a low rate, it offsets whatever cost it may be paying a
Yeah.
lower
Right.
price at a higher interest rate. You're going to pay more interest.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So we're gonna kind of just, and if we need to, we're just gonna rent for figure out where we want to go or kind of see what happens in the marketplace. And
right.
so, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
good.
been interesting. It's like going through your life for 25 years. Hmm.
Yeah. That's definitely gonna have bring back some memories. I
Oh yeah.
can't, anytime I clean out or I look
Hello.
horrible, because it takes me so much longer. I start looking at pictures and
Yep. Yep.
sentiments and,
That's what we're doing.
hey,
Hey,
Kelly,
Kelly.
You guys hear me?
we hear
Yeah.
you.
Live from the
Oh,
West
okay.
Coast, Dick.
Hi. What?
I said live from the West Coast.
We're both West Coast. All right, cool. I was just doing a run through on my own, given for the third time timing myself. Oh, I'm so nervous.
You'll be
don't.
fine. You're gonna be
It's all
great.
your friends that love you either way. You know more than half the people on it.
I know. That's what I keep thinking. And I'm like, I don't want to know who's on. I'm just going to do it. Okay. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick and get some water, and then I'll be right back.
Good idea. I'll probably do a bathroom break because I've been here sitting 3 hours
Oh,
and have not.
okay, go do what you
Oh,
need.
no.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do I look all right? Does my background look good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in Colombia today. I haven't changed in a while.
You're where?
I love that background.
My background is Colombia.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, you've traveled?
Yes.
Yeah. Traveled
can't
in my
stop.
mind. I've
Don't-
traveled where my mother-in-law has been. We're cleaning out we brought all of her picture books. She was a travel agent. Oh my God. We didn't even realize half the places the lady traveled.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So it's kind of, yeah, it's reminiscing, but it's also like, okay, we got to edit through this stuff
You
because
got to get rid of, yeah.
we're not moving this shit. Yeah.
That's funny. All right. I'll be back.
Okay. Maybe I should be a different video today.
I am sending Joyce an email if she wants to jump in a few minutes before.
Yeah, that'd be
Because I'll
great.
intro her. She was asking when I'm going to do the video. Yes, after she's done. I love that video.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
It's
think I
fun.
should
It's
introduce
very-
her? Do you think I should introduce her first and they play the video, right? Or
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I had to have that Kathy call today.
Yeah.
He's like, Fred hasn't been around, and then he wants something because now he's working with Puerto Rico. I'm like, Kathy, they're giving prizes. Because I told her, I said I added a virtual event after the Motown, and it's going to be just Puerto Rico and the announcement of the prizes. And she's like, that Fred, he hasn't even done anything. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, look.
I was thinking about you, and I was thinking how I want you to run for president.
No, I don't want to.
I know, but it's so funny. Oh no.
What'd you say, Jessica?
I'm like, I want Kim to run for president.
Me too.
And she's like,
Yeah, no. No thanks. I'll just keep doing these kind of things. I
Right?
gotta get back to work. Scott's selling. I don't know what he's selling right now, but he's in sales mode. I'm like, you go, boy.
Awesome.
Not a way to do it. Megabytes. That's
Like, you had a 2-month vacation there, dude.
it's like time to get back into business.
Time to go. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had my ups and downs. I am so grateful for sight because sight is what gives me that like, okay, there is, that connection. But I've
Right.
had my ups and downs through all this, as we all have. But it's
I
like,
think everybody, yeah, we've all gone through our moments, and
Yeah.
which is, I mean, Kelly, what day are you on quarantine wise? What day are you?
I mean, I guess I've just been counting it since they kind of shut down. So I think today is official 70, day 70, right?
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. I know, but I've been interviewing for a real full-time job.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be part-time, but it will be like operations stuff because I don't have the hustle in me to try and do a bunch of family photos, and I know there's not gonna be as many events.
Right.
So I'm kind of excited to like work with other people and like,
So would you stay in the same area? Or
yeah, I would stay in the same
Okay.
area, and I've been open about like having my photography business and wanting to still do that, so that I would still
be able to go do
I
that?
would still be able to do stuff like that. I maybe just, I can't, go see all my friends or stay in Atlanta a week or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So yeah. So I'm kind of excited about that because, got to pay the bills.
Yeah, I hear you. I know. Well, that's what I was just telling Jessica. My husband and we're going to downsize our house, and we've been here 25 years.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so we're like cleaning out with the dumpster in the driveway and the real clean out, selling
Wow. Well,
stuff. And
were you guys thinking about doing that beforehand, or?
we had talked about maybe doing it in a couple of years, and then we're like, why are we waiting? My kids are all out. Megan's back with us temporarily because her house that she was house sitting fell through when the family had to move back from New York City. So, but she's going to move out, and I'm like, we do not need this house.
Yeah.
This is way
Well, and
too
it's
much house for us.
Well, and at the very least, it's a good time to just start cleaning out.
Oh my God, yeah. I would
Right.
not have wanted my kids to have had to do this, which is what we had to do with my husband's mom when
Yeah.
she passed away. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're
That's what my dad's doing this weekend with my grandma, her place, because she's in a home now, and so they're
Yeah.
going, all siblings are going to do that. Quick question: when I'm done with my presentation, do I, Jessica, am I going to say, okay, thanks everyone, thanks so much, I'm going to hand it back over to you, and then you're going to talk about Puerto Rico? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think by then we should wrap up any questions. If anybody had any questions, we've already gone through that. And then I'll do, yeah, exactly. You exit presentation mode and then send it back to me. And then I'll introduce Joyce. And I asked her if she wanted to jump on a couple of minutes before too, that we were doing a practice run with you. Do you want to go through anything right now or test anything out?
Let me just do a test of pulling up my presentation and all that.
Okay.
And my angle. Okay. So I'm just going to do this. Nope. Oh, share screen. Share
I mean,
screen.
I don't think Puerto Rico registered because they're asking for the link as well. You see, Kelly?
What?
I don't think Puerto Rico registered
Oh.
because they're asking for the link.
Well, you know what? I hope they're in the database. I know
there they are.
they're in our database. We'll have to ask.
Well, there she is. All
Yeah,
right.
we'll ask.
Hey guys, I'm not, so I'm hitting share screen and it says, so how do I do it? I'm hitting
Share screen, and then it should give you an option to which screen you want to share or where.
It's not. Are you seeing my presentation now?
No,
No.
we're still, yeah, you haven't shared your screen.
Ew.
And it is in share mode, just in case I was checking that. So after you click share screen, it'll like a pop-up will come up so you can select which screen you want to share, whether one, two, or a specific thing you have open.
I'm getting a pop-up that says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
One participant can share at a time. Multiple participants can share simultaneously. Try again. Advanced sharing option. Who can share?
Okay, there we go.
Better? Okay.
Got it.
This is why we practice. Good morning, Joyce.
All right, cool.
Now we see all your desktop.
Okay. Oop, let me get to the beginning. Y'all,
So
I have 80 slides. Does that seem like a lot?
Depending on how fast you may be going.
I know. I've done a practice run 3 times and I've gotten rid of stuff, so I hope that's enough. Okay.
And Joyce, you're in, so I'm not going to send you the link.
I beg your pardon?
I see you're in, so I'm not going to send you the link.
Yeah, no, it's for some reason it keeps on going to my junk now. I'm gonna have to let my IT guy know. But for me, I think I was just gonna like say a little something to to entice them to like make sure that they log in their miles. So I just put I can read you guys what I wrote on the script, and then you can just do the video, but it'll be short and simple.
Perfect.
You guys. So yeah, so whatever you want, if you want to do it in the beginning, at the end, whatever's easiest for you.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it at the end. So after Kelly gives it back, and I don't know if Nancy's gonna jump on because we were gonna do a little talking about the May miles. So just encouraging people. And this is my co-host, Blue.
I see that.
Aw.
Hey, baby.
Getting really comfortable now. He's
Yeah.
wants to be in the show.
Completely. He all of a sudden comes up and just looks out the window I have, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here. Thank you." Great.
I have
Yeah,
no
I'm feeding
companion.
today, so
Myself and I.
It's not a two-legged, it's a four-legged I got. But so I'll introduce you, Kelly. I'll talk a little bit about you. Then we'll go through your presentation. After that, we'll talk a little bit about the May miles, just kind of incentivize what we're doing. And yeah, you're gonna talk too, right, Blue? Blue, speak. No, haven't gotten there yet. And then I'll introduce you, Joyce, and I'll let you just go with it. If you want me to say anything about you, just send it over to me real quick. Or if not, I'll just introduce you.
No, yeah, just introduce me. I'll reach you. I just put like, once you introduce me, I'll just say, you know, thank you to Site for allowing Discover Puerto Rico to sponsor a few gifts for the Miles and Minutes Challenge. We have a grand prize, so I would encourage everyone to log in your miles.
Yep.
And all in good time, we will meet again. While we are all at home daydreaming of our next trip or vacation, here's a little video of what your next experience in Puerto Rico will be like. And then because that's the whole, you know, idea of that video. It's like daydreaming because we're all home.
That
So-
video is so
It's
awesome
Cute.
because it's not the way it's set up and built, just fantastic. Who
So
was
it'll be like a little
actress?
teaser, I guess. So they log in their miles because there's gifts. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
that's perfect.
I loved it. Are you gonna play it,
question.
or do you want me to play it?
I beg your pardon?
Do you want me to play the video, or are you gonna play it?
You can play it.
Okay, perfect. Just
That
wanted
way it's easier, and then we don't have to, you know.
to go. No worries, perfect. Kelly, what was that?
Sorry. What if, like, do we shut down exactly at an hour, or if we're running over a little bit?
We just
Wait,
know.
we're flexible.
Okay. I mean, I think I can do it in about 35 minutes. I just didn't know, you know, I don't think there'll be tons of questions, but
Right.
in case.
I mean, that's usually where it slows it down a little, that we're not exactly sure what'll happen is if there are questions, which you
Okay.
want to, you know, honor those and answer them. But I think we'll be fine. Once you start rolling, you'll just roll along. And
Okay.
we've gone over an hour a couple of times, but we try to
We've hit the 2-hour mark.
people's time, right?
Okay. Okay. I don't want to also take up.
I don't feel like you have to like.
Yeah.
Ah,
Take your time.
I wish I could do that. La, 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 la.
We'll do rolling R's practice.
Could we please?
Hi, look at Kim.
Nice. I could never do that.
Yeah, too
I have
bad
a
my
photographer friend.
Spanish is horrible. It doesn't sound that nice.
I have a photographer friend who does a lot of kids and babies, and she's awesome. And she can do that. And you can just see when she rolls her R's to get their attention, they're like, right? And so whenever I do it, I'm always like, la, 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 and then I just like scare them.
I
I'm
don't
trying to
realize
teach my
I do it,
son
but I probably
to roll
do it
his
a lot.
R's. He doesn't know. He can't roll his R's yet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so don't feel bad.
Well, good. All right. So it's not a genetic thing.
He's got no excuse, and I don't know.
Exactly.
Mom probably, I don't know. She's doing something wrong.
Now that you're teaching, right? Now you've added that to your resume.
Oh, goodness. And I do want to incorporate, like, he's bilingual, he's fluent in both, but I do want to incorporate teaching him how to read and write Spanish. I'm like, the kid's behind in English. I'm like, he's just like me. I first learned how to speak and write in Spanish going to an English school, which I didn't, though my parents didn't speak English. And when I was 10, I moved to Chicago, and then I learned my English. So my English is from a 5th grader.
Oh, interesting. Where are you from?
I'm a mix. Technically, I was born here in the States, but I was raised in Colombia and Panama. And then
Okay.
I moved back when I was 17. But at 10, I lived here. Then I went back for like 1 year here, then away, then another year. Like, I was just like a gypsy.
That's interesting that you have such a accent for not being there, not like grown up there super long or during your formative years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a mutt. I'm a full mutt.
You don't look like a mutt.
Thank you. Hey, my mutt is cute, right, Blue? Awesome.
How old is
Aw.
your baby, Jessica? How old is your son?
He's 6.
Oh, that's a good age.
Yeah, he is. He's a great
Fun.
one. I'm blessed with him because he's amazing. He's like an old soul.
That's how my son is.
Yeah, how old is he?
My children are old. My daughter's 23 and my son is he just turned 19. He's in the Air Force.
Wow, hot mama. Holy crap,
Congratulations.
we have a 20-something-year-old.
And I promise you, I was not a teenage mom. Nothing against being a teenage mom, but I was not. I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And this is just part of being Latina, Hispanic, I guess.
Yeah. I'll be just like it when Jaden's 20-something. I don't care if I look it or not, I'll act it.
Exactly.
That's what matters.
Can I ask who Yolanda is?
I know. I was worried that Yolanda's on the call like this. Yolanda she works with us. She handles
Okay.
Yeah. I think she's on with us already.
Yeah.
There, Yolanda.
I just don't see her or hear her.
Yeah.
She's
Yolanda's part of our. She's in Boston, so she handles that market.
Awesome.
What market do you handle?
New England. I handle the Southeast
Okay.
and international.
Yep.
We're trying now international.
So,
Sorry, I was on
Joyce,
mute.
just a question for you. Is Puerto Rico open or what's going on?
Yeah.
So you are open again. Okay.
We never,
Officially.
our airport has not closed.
Okay.
The majority of the hotels are open. They're just running occupancy of like 15-20%.
Okay.
And but the island itself has been on a strict lockdown since the pandemic hit. Like it was one of the first places that actually put in a lockdown in place. So we're hopeful that we open up again I think that's in the next couple of days. The mayor is supposed to say if she's going to keep the lockdown order or not.
Okay.
So she did a really good job. I have to say, because they were from 7 p.m. till 5 a.m. And then at one point, depending on your license plate or your car, was when you could go to the grocery store or not. So she really maintained it as much as she could.
Interesting. Your license plate?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, when I was over in Europe, they were doing that in Greece, but it was this was several years ago when they were having a lot of economic issues. And so that's when they could drive, right? Was based on your license plate. So it's kind of that same idea, just trying to minimize.
To control the amount of people that were in the grocery stores or out and about. And they were really strict because if you were not at home during curfew hours, you were going to get a $5,000 fine.
Ooh.
Wow. And where my mom is at, they were putting people in jail too. It's like, no, and it's the same concept by driver's license. So instead of license plates, hi, Jolanda, now we see you.
So Joyce, I'm on here because I was hi guys.
Hi.
I'm a big fan of site. So I've been doing the site Northeast ones, and I've heard really good things about
The Southeast.
Yeah.
Well, I
Dream
love
team.
you guys are and of course Joyce. I'm supporting Joyce. I mean, we all kind of do different things, but it's just nice to kind of be supporting each other, and
Yes.
I was kind of doing other things and listening in, and I've also heard good things of your presenter too. So Rachel, right?
Look at that, Kelly. You have a reputation.
There you go.
My goodness. I was like, who's the presenter? I'm like, oh, me.
Yeah, you are. So
Oh, thanks.
So I'm gonna mute out because I'm totally not camera ready like all you beautiful girls
No,
are.
I'm not camera ready.
Jolly,
You got the background
Now
going.
we're
That's all
hands.
you need.
Jolly, you're always beautiful. So
You're always
Yeah.
I'm so good.
thanks.
How are you? See, oh my little Mina.
I'm so
Last
good.
time I saw you was in Connect. Oh my God.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna mute up.
I hear the curfew's going to go up from 6:30 to 9 o'clock now in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm in
good.
Boston. I'm up
Wow.
here. Although my background, right?
No,
Hey, you're
we
right.
hope that there's not going to be a curfew anymore.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they gave Americans a curfew? Oh my God.
They tried technically. Like for us, we were supposed to not remember Gilbert. We were supposed to like
Not
You
be
can't
out of
go
the 10
Well,
o'clock.
technically, we are Americans, so they did give Americans a curfew. The Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you
Sorry.
go.
and
I'm sorry, my
technically we can do what we
apologies.
want either way.
It's just, I'm just, as a
I
rep,
know.
I just think it's embarrassing how people are treating it. That's all.
Yeah.
In
No,
other,
I- you know,
in
it's
other
just Puerto
countries.
Ricans love a good time. They like to be out and about and socializing all the time. So it was like, I think it was important for her to put curfew in place, because if not, at first she did it until 9 o'clock, so people started going out a little earlier. But then she's like,
Puerto
okay, wait, we need to make this curfew at 7 p.m.
Yeah. So
Wow.
off the street by 9.
Hi, Kathy Kelly.
Hello. How are y'all?
Hey,
Hey, Kathy.
Hello. Hey,
Hello.
Gilbert.
how are you?
You know, I'm over this shit.
Wrong mic.
I want to be busy again. I'm tired of being useless.
You're not.
Getting up every day and trying to think of something to be productive with is exhausting.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard for y'all's roles of like, because you can't really sell, right? So you're just trying to connect.
Connect. It's a lot of connecting and commiserating.
Yeah.
And if they use that word sell first, then we could do it.
Yeah.
Kevin?
It's surprising. I am seeing a lot of leads though that would normally go offshore or Europe or sexy places that are wanting to stay in the continental U.S. or you know, that's encouraging.
They're trying to discover our sexiness in the backyard. We got a lot of beautiful places.
Hello, hey Pam.
Hi, Shannon, and Nancy's here. Terry, Angel, we got people joining.
Okay.
guys.
Cool. People are coming to my party.
I hope you don't mind. I don't have calls. I'm just going to eat my lunch while I'm doing this. I hope that's okay.
Go for it.
What are we having today for lunch?
We're not judging. What are you having?
Yeah.
Cut up an avocado and just did like guacamole and chips.
Oh, yeah.
All I had time to put together.
They should
I'm eating my vitamins.
throw some ground beef onto it and some cheese, and you know. That's what I had for dinner last night.
Sounds good.
Avocado, anything is accepted. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner and
Yep.
snack.
Absolutely.
Hey Gilbert,
Shampoo and everything.
I'm loving this certification stuff, but oh my God, there's so many videos.
Oh, follow my tip to you.
I know. I wrote it down.
Okay.
And welcome to Anne's here as well. So what I know, where's Nancy? Can't hear. I know she's around, but I want to know as we kind of going to talk a little bit about it and have an exciting also surprise after Kelli presents today. But how are you guys been tracking miles? I see some of you people are trying to get up there. There's going to be some fun prizes at the end, but what are you guys doing? I know Pam, you're always about the working out.
Orange Theory. I'm an Orange Theory rat.
There you go.
It's here at 8 a.m. this morning.
Look at that. And what have you been doing, Joyce?
I run, but I love Orange Theory also, and I'm culprit. I'm not tracking anything, but I'm a runner, and my Orange Theory is closed, so I have, you know, I've been doing quite a few miles on my.
Getting those
Orange
extra miles.
juice while running.
We need to log them. We need them for the Southeast because
Like, you know
The
what?
more-
I'm gonna log them because you'll be impressed.
There you go.
You know, I've been walking 1 hour, 3.25 miles a day.
That's awesome.
Gilbert, and we're neighbors. We can almost meet in the center, two of us.
Yeah, everybody make sure you're logging them because it is so close that it's like every time I get people who have logged, it goes one way or the other between us and Site Chicago. Not that that's all that it's about, but we are literally so close. So every mile counts, every minute counts. Orange Theory, convert to minutes. I did yours, Pam. You sent me a whole bunch. I know Danielle is a big Orange Theory. So even if you don't think it goes, give it to me so I can put it in there. We need everybody.
What
I
is
haven't
the
sent you- I
time?
haven't sent you any of mine either. I know.
Who's good
Come on,
with
Tim.
Matrix? And you got those bike miles. We need them. Okay.
How do I log them on?
What is the time frame? Are we doing it from Sunday to Saturday? What is it?
Yeah, so it ends each Sunday when that new email or Facebook post comes out.
Yeah.
Well,
So even if you didn't log, we are going to make some announcements where if you need to go back and log some miles that you didn't post, because it's all through the Facebook post at this point. We're going to have a couple days at the end of May before we announce the winners to make sure we tally up everything. So post them. I know Scott's wife posts on Facebook for him, so I get those. So she is posting for you, but yeah, every minute counts, every mile counts. We'll convert to get them in there, but we are literally neck and neck. And today we have some exciting information. I know we've been teasing everybody, but we have some, an assortment of great different prizes. So there's a lot more to come with May, miles and minutes. I don't want to take away from Kelly, but all I can say is log everything, post everything, please, please, please. And also send pictures. We don't have a lot of pictures, so send pictures. And Kelly,
Yeah, send some pictures we can
that
share
as well. So yeah.
I have
Or
a question.
tag,
I don't know a lot of you, but for those of us that are just joining it, what are you talking about? Because I mean, I know everybody's walking, but do you all work together or something? Or is this, I mean, did I miss something?
not at all. Nancy, do you want to go ahead and explain it?
I mean, I can't, I'm
Sure.
not the only
So
one. There's a lot of people on this call. For those of us that don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about, it sounds intriguing and would love to hear about it.
okay, great. So Site Southeast decided in May we were going to kick off something a little bit different, and just to get everyone kind of geared up, have some fun, and we decided to do a May Miles and Minutes Challenge. It started out, it was going to be just amongst our chapter. Then we opened it up to other chapters. Then we opened up to the hospitality industry as a whole, globally.
Oh, fantastic.
Just to see how, how much we can really show as an industry. We log a ton of miles when we're all in business mode and flying and whatnot. So it's just,
Right.
just a little fun thing to kind of say, hey, everybody get moving. Help
I
get
think it's
that
great.
quarantine 15, whatever. So go to Site Southeast Facebook, and each week there's been a little snippet for the week, and just post through the comments in Facebook. And we are tracking, we had weekly competitions, and we'll roll it all up. But again, the competitive nature between Site Southeast and Site Chicago seems to be the biggest right now. So as a Site Southeast person, we need all our Site Southeast people to chime in, whether you're a member or not. So we've got some great prizes and just, some fun little things to keep everyone going.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
asking.
asking.
Not everyone knew what it was.
Mhm.
We're excited. So let's log our miles. All the information is in the comments. Go click on the link or copy paste it, or just Google Site Southeast, as Nancy said. And now that we've got everybody here, good afternoon. Welcome to our Site Southeast and Dream Team Thursday gatherings. This week, Miss Kelly, some of you know her because you're always saying biscuit or cheese to her, but she is on our board, and she's also presenting how to focus on your shots. She's been with Site for 5 years. She's also been awarded Sponsor Member of the Year because she's always taking pictures at all the events. Now, the other thing is, some of you may know her from back in the day, US Motivations. Some of you actually worked with her, a couple of people we have on the call today. So hold any questions you want. I think by now everybody knows how to work Zoom. We're all zoomed out, but thank you for your support and being here today. In the bottom, there's a little, just in the center of Zoom, there's a chat. You can just click on it, put your questions to Kelly. She's going to review some information. And without further ado, Kelly, I will let you go ahead and take the mic. Welcome.
All right, thank you. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I've seen some names that I recognize, so thanks for everyone for joining. I'm just gonna share my presentation. All right, so everyone can see, right? All right, cool. So thank you for joining me on my masterclass on event photography. I'm Kelly. And today we are going to go over the basics of using your smartphone, what makes a good event photo, how to pose for a photo, which I think is what most of you guys are actually on for. And then when you do have the budget, when we're back up and running, what you should look for or ask when you're hiring an event photographer, and then photo critique, and then any questions. We just have a couple photos for photo critique. So first thing, a lot of questions. Oh, and one thing I want to say regarding the agenda is this is not to teach you how to take photos of an entire event. This is to kind of give you some tips, some pointers so that you can get a handful of really good photos that you can share on social media with your clients, and then get back to doing what you do best, which is planning the event, okay? So this is just to kind of get your highlights of your event. So when I started my event photography business in 2013, I was not planning on going through and doing corporate events, but with my experience with US Motivation and everyone I knew, I have kind of ended up that way. And my first event was 2014 in Cabo for 2 weeks, and this is one of my photos. And you can see how freaking excited I am that I am in Cabo getting paid to take photos for 2 weeks. So after this, I was pretty much in love with event photography. And I had a good friend who kind of helped me, and I was like, how do I do more event photography? And she recommended getting involved with Site Southeast. And that is, honestly, I started working with Site Southeast, meeting everyone, and it's been a great journey. So when I did this gig, I had basic camera. I didn't have a flash. So when it was nighttime, the evening event, I was kind of done for the night. I didn't, that was it. So I just had basic gear. But because I knew the basics of photography, I was really able to still capture this event, and the client was happy with the photos. They hired me for a couple more years. So just by knowing the basics, it doesn't matter what camera you have, you can still take a really good photo. All right. So the quote, the best camera you have is the one that's with you. I say it, all photographers say it, right? So you don't ask, well, what do you shoot or what should I get? Just learn a good photo. All right, so I broke photo basics down into 3 things. Rule of thirds, so composing your photos, angles, learning good light, and all of these things are going to help you take a better, more interesting photo and really tell the story of your event, right? And that's really important. All right, so I love this explanation of rule of thirds. The viewer isn't encouraged to, when you take the subject out of the center of the photo and you're only taking a photo of one thing, you kind of really lose the story of your event. There's so much going on that you plan. There's so many things in your event that you plan that are unique, the logos, the colors, just all the details. So by kind of composing your photo in a different way, and not putting it right in the middle, the viewer is then encouraged to look beyond the photo and subject and further explore the remaining photo and really see everything that's in your event. And that's really what you want, right? Is everything. All right, so rule of thirds. I'm going to go through some examples real quick. So here we go. So I've added some grids. This is a champagne aerialist, which is basically my second dream job. And I put her at the top third, the Hollywood sign at the bottom third with the reflection, the champagne glasses. If I had done this at a different angle and just got her, I really would have lost the classiness of this Hollywood photo. So by getting all those things in the photo, it kind of tells a better story of the whole event. And same thing, this is really simple with food. We all want to take a cute photo of our food. That's really important. Part of your event is really yummy foods, different, special. But it's not just the food, it's also the place setting, it's the cocktails, it's the drinks. So by kind of just pulling back and also getting the sparkling wine, the nice china, the coffee cup, it kind of explains like, hey, this is kind of a nice luncheon. It just wasn't a good meal. It was also like you know, nicer with the sparkling water. So, and you can see here, the sparkling water is not exactly on the third, but it still is in that section, and it's just composed a little differently. And I really love focusing on logos whenever possible, especially with guest speakers. I want to get that logo in. So if site ever wanted to post this image, we're not just posting the guest speaker, but we're also posting the logo. So this photo speaks for itself of what kind of speakers we have, events we have. We don't have to say, oh, this photo was taken by site. It's already in there. And here's another example of Doc from Summit a few years ago. Again, he's telling his great story, and there's the logo on the right-hand side. So this kind of tells exactly what was going on. Oh, and there's rule of thirds. And this is another one of my favorite ones. I love this speaker. He's laughing, the colors match. He's on the right-hand side, logo's at the top third, right? Just kind of make it a little bit more interesting versus if he had just been in the middle and it was just him. All right, and then we have Kathy from Summit. And this one's a little different. I wanted to point this out. A lot of times we're at, you know, beaches, beautiful sunsets. And so whenever you are trying to take a photo of the horizon, automatically, I think we always want to put, you know, you want to put the horizon in the middle, but you actually really want it at the top third or the bottom third. And that just makes it for a more interesting photo. And you can see here too, if that horizon had been in the middle of this photo, it would have really cut through the girls and their heads, and I think they wouldn't have popped as much. So by putting the horizon in the top third, they just really pop, and then you see that beautiful straight line horizon. All right, so little rule of thirds tip is you can actually turn the grid line on your phone if you haven't already, and it's super easy. You just go to your settings and you're going to turn on the grid lines, and then when you're taking photos, you can practice with where to line and compose your photo. Okay. All right, so the second thing is angles. This is pretty easy. This is one of the things I learned in one of my photography classes, is she was like, move your feet. And it's so simple, but it's so true. If you just, whenever I'm at an event, I just kind of just keep walking around. I just walk in circles, looking for what's going on, looking for different stuff, because things are always happening, lights changing. So just move around, look at different things. Sometimes even if I see people over here taking a photo, I might go opposite and see, what are they looking at? Let me get something different, right? So by moving your feet, and then of course, get higher, get wide, get low. All right, so here I am, I'm just behind the crowd. I'm getting them engaged with the speaker versus just getting her. I think I would have really lost the engagement with the crowd. Here I'm standing behind the bar. I could have just taken a photo of the bartender, but by getting behind the bartender, getting him in action, and then getting the reactions of the attendees, this is what you want to show, is the attendees really enjoying the experience, right? This is why you have this cool bartender, is to entertain them, right? So just move around. Don't just focus on one thing. Try and get the big picture. And then I always love a good iPhone photo, taking a photo of what the attendees are taking photos of, because again, it just shows what they're engaged in. And I think this is super cute. She's taking a photo of the marketing piece, showing that she's engaged in the event. So this is like me hovering behind her. And then here we are at Site Summit. I'm actually standing on a chair just to get up a little bit higher, get the full picture of everyone holding up this project. So just by standing on a chair, you really get a different view. And there's definitely times I wish I was taller. So maybe taller people don't have to get on the chair as much, but definitely just getting on a chair gives you a different point of view. Here I got a little bit higher. I'm now on a second story looking over a balcony, and I'm doing it behind the scenes. These people are interviewing someone. I'm getting the staff having their coffee break. And I think this is just a really cool shot that you could share with a client of like, hey, you know, here's a cool behind the scenes. So just by taking a photo over the stairs was super easy. And of course, not that you necessarily have access to a lift, but this is me in a lift at a trade show, which was super fun. And a little tip is when you're taking an event photo of your space is use your panoramic. Don't forget to use that. You can really, if you get a little bit higher in panoramic, don't go too high that it's warped. But this is a really great way to capture your whole event. And this is actually honestly the client's favorite photo. So I'm just using my iPhone, and he was like, this is what I basically hired you for, is to show the trade show and the impact in it. So that's all I needed at this point was my iPhone. All right, and then get wide. So again, a lot of times we want to take this close up of the food shots, but don't forget to, get the whole shot, get the behind the scenes, get the venue, get the staff. Like, I think this really tells the story of what they're doing to set up the food. So don't forget to kind of shoot, a little bit wider. And same thing, this is one of my favorite photos. And if I had just zoomed on the caterers, it would have kind of been a boring photo, but by grabbing the venue and really showing the specialness of this venue, it's really cool with them walking towards me. They're about to hand out appetizers. So don't forget to get everything that's kind of going on in the event, including the venue. This one of a tablescape. I know table settings are really important. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. And it's really easy to just want to take a photo of the centerpiece or the table setting, but I think this really pops a lot more with the white tablecloth and the wine barrels in the background. And then you actually have wine charms on the setting. Like, if I had just taken a photo of the setting, it wouldn't have been as cool versus seeing it with that wide shot with the wine barrels in the background. So again, don't forget to look at what's behind your table setting. And then of course, get low. I think these are always fun. If I had been standing up, I probably would have got their heads, top of heads. I wouldn't have really seen what they were pointing at. So by showing, just by getting a little bit lower, I was able to get them engaged with the activity. All right, had to share this one because everyone loved this at Site Summit. Wouldn't always recommend this because I always say don't let someone take a photo of you leaning down, but this was me on my knees and they're dancing towards me and they're over me having a great time. So this is me getting a little bit lower. Or you can get really low, which wouldn't recommend either. This one I'm actually, I think, pretty much lying on my back, and this is the executive team toasting before the event. But everyone really loved this one. It's a great fun shot to get everyone engaged, and they kind of really appreciate this. So, little tip on how you can do a team toast is if you open your camera app and you put it on timer and find whatever is the longest, probably 10 seconds, place on the ground, have the team come around, lean in, do their toast, and then the timer will capture a photo of them doing their toast, and you don't have to lay on the ground. All right, so the last portion is learning good light. This is really important, and I think once I got better at learning light, my photography, my photos were just a lot better and pop a lot more. So really learning good light is important. All right. So exposure is the quality of light in your camera. And remember that your eye is going to see light differently than what your camera captures. So you might look at something that's super pretty, but if there's a really bright spot, the sun, lights or whatever, your camera is going to expose for that bright light. And then the rest of it is going to be super dark. Whereas in your eye, that's not how it's seen. So what you want to look for is good quality light, which is what I'm going to kind of run through. All right. So the best time of the day for outdoor photos, we have a lot of outdoor events. Ideally, early morning or as the sun sets, which is known as golden hour. Or an overcast day, which I know as an event planner is probably nightmare, but as a photographer, we're like, yes, it's cloudy. Everything's going to be super even for a lot longer, right? Because with most events, we can't control the light. I can't say, hey, can we move the event over here to better light? I have to deal with what I have. So I'm trying to look for the best possible light, okay? So, I had some friends help me out with this because I really wanted to show some extreme examples of bad and good light. So this is us at supermarket a few days ago. And you can see here in the top left corner, this is kind of our space we're dealing with. We have a super bright spot to the left and then what we call open shade to the right, which means we're still outside, but it's a shady spot, okay? So if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, she's in full sun, but there's the shade behind her, which it's fine. It's not terrible. but she has a super shiny spot on her forehead. She's squinting, it's bright. It's not the best look. So during an event, I would really avoid this type of light. And then to the right, where she's part shadow, part sun, you can see how much brighter her face is because it's exposing for this versus the dark. I definitely avoid this. This is terrible. I would not want a photo where you're part shade and sun. So try and avoid that. All right. Top left, she has the sun behind her. Now, as a side note, sometimes the sun behind you can be really pretty if you have the sun. It's nice and, you know, you're lit on the back of your head. But in this case, she's part shade and the sun behind her, so it's super bright behind her. And also you can see like she has shadows under her eyes, shadows on her faces. It's not the best look. So I would also try and avoid this. So bottom left, this is ideal. This is what I look for. It's even, open shade. She's lit pretty well. She's not squinting. So this is during an event. This is the light I look for. And this is like, if I can hang out in this spot, this is where I'm going to take the most photos. This is going to be the easiest. I did want to show this photo on the right. This is her actually now facing the light. So the light is on the left and she's facing that. And you can see how much even better that is. She has sun in her eyes. She's lit really well. But this is really like for headshots, right? So you don't necessarily have to do this, but if you were taking a group shot necessarily, or for example, you would want to say, hey, let's just kind of face the sun. Like if you have time to turn around, kind of keep that in mind. And then this is my friend, this is definitely what I avoid, is people standing in both. So during cocktail hour, during your receptions, you know, you're going to have a lot of shade, shadows. So this is what you want to avoid definitely, is people that are in both. So he's in the sun, he's super bright, hot spots, or to the right, she's a little bit darker, right? So you either want them in full sun or in shade, not both. All right, so here's an example of midday full sun. And so it's definitely doable. It can be a little bit harder. You just have to maybe move around a little bit. The guy on the snowmobile, he has the sun, it's full on his face, but it's even, there's no shadows. And then the golfer, the sun is behind him. So even though it was a super sunny day, he is okay right there with his hat and the sun is, or there's no shadows, right? So you're kind of basically just looking for the shadows on your face. So here's an example of varying lights in one event. So this is a boat ride in Cabo. These are photos taken over probably about an hour. You know, and caveat of during event photography is sometimes you just have to take the photo because it's a good group photo. It's a lot of people are having a good time. Not the ideal light. I'm not going to be like, no, sorry, I can't take your photo. This isn't good light, but it's not ideal, right? So the top left corner, super bright. But at least they're all super bright. They have sunglasses on, so nobody's squinting. It's not ideal, but it's a cute, big group photo of they're having a good time, right? Then I literally, all I had to do was turn around and to grab this photo of these two ladies, and they're in open shade. Super, it's softer, looks nicer. This is ideal. Top right, this is probably about 30 minutes later, so they're still in the sun. But the sun is starting to go down a little bit more. It's a little bit softer, not quite as bright. So still doable, and they have their sunglasses on. And then bottom right, still pretty bright on the side of the boat, but it's the arch. I can't say, sorry, this isn't good light. So even though you can see she has really bright light on her chest, I just had her turn her face a little bit more so that her face is even. Like if she had been more this way, her face would have been shadows. So just by moving her face a little bit more, she's completely even, right? So that's really what, like I said, you want to look at. All right, so here's just some fun examples. Everyone looks super happy in all of these photos. Great gift and experience. And this is open shade. It was a really bright day, but we're actually in the shadow of the building. So this is great, easy light. I was able to take tons of great photos, even though it was like 4 o'clock during the day. Okay, so this is open shade photos. This is an example I wanted to show regarding again, 2 different lights. This is super bright light outside and then dark inside. And this photo, I think I edited a lot to kind of bring up the darkness and the inside. So ideally, if you're trying to, if you have this event space and it has this gorgeous view, if you can, wait until the sun is going down a little bit more so that the exposure is a little bit more even, and you'll hopefully be able to capture that great view and the indoors. So just later in the day when the sun goes down, just keep that in mind because it's really hard to expose for super bright and super dark. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm talking about, the golden hour. This is super warm and golden, and you can see the sun is kind of setting off here to the left. So this is if you want to get some good photos of your event space outside, this is the light you want to look for. This is usually about an hour to 45 minutes before sunsets. It's going to be that pretty golden hour time to take photos. And here's another example. This is actually the sun is setting behind me, behind the building. So the sky is still blue, but you can see it's just so much softer. The light is all even. There's no shadows. So this is really, it's open shade and the sun is going down. So this is a good time to take event space photos. And of course, sunsets, super easy, right? That's a no-brainer. This is a really good time to get some fun photos with a good sunset of your food, your entertainment, people coming in. It can be kind of tricky if you're trying to expose for people and the sunset. And honestly, I've seen smartphones take better photos than my camera does because they have this HDR setting. So you can get some really great sunset photos. All right, a little hot food tip, and this was something I just learned a couple years ago. I was like, oh, that makes total sense, but it is impossible to take a good photo of hot food with that heat lamp on. So if you just turn it off, take a photo, because you can see here where my arrow is pointing, like even though the food in the front is exposed okay, it's super bright in the back and ugly. So just by turning off that heat lamp, I would have been able to get a much better photo of the food. It would have been lit all evenly. So just turn it off and then don't make yourself mad, turn it back on. All right. So the next is learning, the next part of learning good light is learning to use your available light. You probably will be somewhat limited once it gets darker, you're indoors. You want to try probably to not use your flash as much because it can kind of make everyone flashy, and or you might lose a little bit of the ambient light. And during your events, you spend a lot of time and planning, and a lot of your budget goes into good lighting. So make sure you're showing that as part of your story of your event. And that can be anywhere from uplighting, your cafe lights, windows, candles, chandeliers, all that. You want to try and incorporate that into your photo. So this isn't corporate event photos, but this was really the best photos that I really showed some really good window light. The one to the left, it was a pretty dreary day. It's a dark room, but just by, and you'll always see bride photos, or groom photos. They're always standing next to the window because it's just the prettiest light. And if you've ever done a headshot with me, I always try and have you face the window because that's going to be the softest light. So she's facing the light. She's lit really well. So if you're ever taking a group photo, you want to face the window, right? So the photo on the right, I purposely wanted them darker. I wanted just the outline of them and to expose for the trees. But for an event, that's not what you want. You don't want an outline of your attendees. You want them right at the event. So really what you would just do is have them turn around, face the window, because you don't want them dark. All right. So here is one event. I want to show some examples of kind of the decorations, the uplighting, the cafe lights. In the top left, this was, the girls are super cute, having a good time, but this is a pretty flat photo to me. It could be any event. You can't tell where it is. There's really nothing special about it. But I wasn't going to say, hey, can you guys stand up and move, 10 feet over here? I just took the photo. And same thing, this photo on the left, this cute photo of a mom with her son. But again, it's kind of flat, whereas the other two photos on the right-hand side, I asked them to just kind of turn around so they have the decorations, the light, the flags behind them, and it's just so much more colorful and it has more of an impact, and it just shows like the uniqueness of this fun event they were at, right? So really try and look at those colors, those lights, and put them behind your subject. And same thing for cafe lights. I love a good string of lights. I always ask people to turn around and kind of get that behind them. When I take the venue spots or the table settings, I try and get all those lights in the background because I just think it gives a little bit more specialness to it. Same thing with your chandeliers, your lighting. The chandelier was brought in just for this event, so showing that reflection in the water feature and the group enjoying it. I just think, you know, just shows the classiness of the event. And same thing on the right. These table settings were gorgeous. This whole event was gorgeous. But if I had just gotten the table and not pulled back and gotten the piano player and all these tea lights hanging from the ceiling, it just wouldn't have had as much of an impact. So I really wanted to tell the whole story of this beautiful event. And of course, candles. You know, we always have candles with our place settings, and this can kind of be tricky because usually you don't light the candles until, you know, 10 minutes before the attendees are coming in. So usually I say, hey, can we just light this one table just so I can get some good photos, because you really want that candle to twinkle off all the glass and the centerpiece and the, you know, all this. So just make sure, and I loved how this has, you know, the different levels. So just make sure you don't take a photo of your centerpiece until it's complete, because that is important for the details. And then of course, decorations. I love the reflection on the lanes, the numbers behind them. It's just a cool kind of pop versus by just taking a photo of them on the other side sitting down. This way we have a little bit more like, oh, they're in a bowling alley and they have bowling balls and there's numbers and the lanes are lit up. So I think this is a really cool shot. All right, so this is a really fun photo. I love the pink lights to the right, and then also the fancy chandelier at the top. But if I had just taken this small group off to the left, you can see the brick. There's not really a lot of light, and I think it would have lost the impact for, you know, where having the chandelier and the pink light, it just pops a lot more. And I did want to use this photo also to show that you want to look at what is behind people, so you don't have like pink poofs coming out of people's head like in Bill. So kind of keep that in mind of what your light features are. All right, so I wanted to spend a little time talking about table settings and centerpieces, because I think this is important and this is an easy fix or an easy photo that you can take to show your client. I know this is always important to the event planners. So things to do. You're going to look for your good light, especially that up lighting. You're going to get low, get high, and get wide. All right, so top left is a pretty boring centerpiece photo, right? And this is what I see people do a lot. They take their phone, they kind of hover over it, boom. There's really nothing special about it. Now, all you had to do was turn around and crouch, and you can see in these other two photos, like the light, the candles are reflecting off the mirror. You can see the cool chandeliers in the back with the colors, and that is the exact same time. All I had to do was crouch a little bit lower and make sure I was getting some reflection in the mirror. So just get low, look for your light. And also the time of day. This is a gorgeous venue in Lake Tahoe, and the sun was super bright. You can see in the top left, like it's getting lost. The table setting is just kind of lost. It just looks like a bunch of stuff going on. Whereas I waited like 30 minutes and I just turned around and looked, and just the background is a lot more simple. It's clean, and I'm really able to showcase that centerpiece and the table, and of course the beautiful view, and then a little close-up of the centerpiece. Even though it's still pretty shadowy, by having just that simple background and that contrast in color, it just pops a lot more. So don't be afraid to just walk around and try different angles. And of course, get high, just stand on the chair, take a photo of your centerpiece. For whatever reason, I like these when it's a simple place setting. It seems to work for me. If there's a lot of stuff on the table, which isn't a bad thing, I just usually like those a little bit lower. So if you play around with it. Sometimes lower or higher is going to work better for whatever the setting is. And here's another simple one that I really liked, that I'm a little bit higher. Also has a little bit of rule of thirds. And then of course, get wide. Tell that whole story of the room, the impact. Like there's the cool logo in the left-hand side, the up lighting on the side of the wall, and it really just shows this beautiful centerpiece and place settings, but also how big the room is and how much there is going on. Another wide one. This is a really simple place setting, and the flowers are super cute. But what's important about this whole place setting was the view. So just instead of just taking a photo of the table, I was able to pull back and show the beautiful garden in the background. So don't forget to also capture the whole scene. All right, so posing tips, and I think this is what most of you guys are really interested in, is a lot of times posing is weird because you feel awkward, right? So what helps is sometimes just hold something, which usually we have a cocktail. You want to lean or sit on something, and that's just going to naturally make you feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, not always possible, but just something to keep in mind if you can. You want to angle your face for a better jawline. A lot of times I know some people want to like naturally go up or go down. You may just want to play around, like look at your favorite photo that you like and say, what angle am I at? You know, it's true, there's a good side and a bad side. It might be your hair. So just by doing a different angle is going to help you give you a better jawline, right? Like if I'm here or here, right? It's just going to give me a better jawline. Never, and I know I showed a photo of me squatting, taking a photo, but really you don't ever want someone to squat and take a group photo because that's usually where you get that double chin. So don't let people do that. You're going to also angle your body, which is going to help you naturally angle your jaw. And you're just going to kind of want to lean in a little bit more. And this just helps slim out your face. And you are never, 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 never going to lean back. Never. All right. And sorry guys, but this is what I always say. And when I do my headshots, boobs up, butt out. So sit up, just straight, kind of lean forward and put your butt out. Okay. Boobs up, butt out. And good light. Okay. So caveat though, regarding posing, don't overthink it, like, cause then it's just going to get awkward. So, and there's a time and a place for cute pose. And when I had the opportunity to take a photo of Michael Dominguez, I'm not going to be like, oh, hold on, this isn't a good angle for me. We just took it and it's fine. And this is a super cute picture of Pam. They're not posing. They're just boom. They look happy, right? So don't overthink the posing because you will look awkward. With that being said, here's some posing. All right, so here are some of my headshots. Both of the ladies Deborah and Megan are sitting, they're leaning on something, and you can't tell, but they really are leaning forward. I had them lean forward a lot, and that's why you can see these great jaw lines, and you can see they both have their chin, kind of angled just a little bit. So it's going to be different for each person. You kind of have to play around with seeing what works best for you, right? This is where the selfies come in, is you just kind of play around with it. Here are two cute photos of Courtney that I wanted to show from Wine to Water. The first one I think is a great photo of her. We are showing the whole logo. She looks really confident. She's got a great smile. But if you look on the photo to the right, she's angled a little bit more. She is leaning in. And if you look at her jaw, she just has a little bit more of a jawline. She looks a little bit slimmer. It's just, I think, a better angle, right? So they're both great photos, but just by turning at an angle and leaning in, how much of a difference it makes, if you can see that. All right, so this is for the guys, or if you're gonna pose like this, I'm gonna get it, right? But I just wanted to show a couple guy poses. For the men, hand in pocket, just standing or sitting and leaning forward. Same thing, right? Lean, sit, hand in pocket, hold something. All right, so for couple photos. So let's say you're in an event with your partner. It's very typical whenever people want to take a photo, they just kind of put their arm around each other, boom, photo. Or if you just kind of change one little thing, it's just kind of a better look. You can see my friend is super slim, but by changing her angle, how much it kind of cuts her in half. And what you want to do for this, remember, this is going to sound weird, but this is what you do, is you think of put your belly button to your partner's hip. Okay, so as the female, belly button to the partner's hip, and then you can kind of scoot behind them, scoot your butt back. Your hand can hold your cocktail, hand in your pocket, hand on their chest. So belly button to their hip. And so if you have someone you can practice that with, you may just want to practice it. So that's a good posing tip, and it really is slimming for everybody. Here are some examples of different things you can do with your arms during these photos. This was an incentive program I photographed a couple years ago. This, this was their awards night. They're dressed up. It's super special. I didn't want to get just photos of them like standing normally. I wanted to take the time to really pose them, and I think they really appreciated this. And these are really pretty moments of their night. One has her hand on her shoulder or just tucked in their arm. They kind of both do that, or you can do, hand on their jacket. All right, so group photos. What I see a lot of people do is everyone just, again, puts both arms up. And when you do that, it's gonna make anybody look wider. So if you can just, again, go at an angle, put a hand in your pocket, hand on your hip. You can see even my friend in the middle, he's a slim guy, but his jacket just makes him look bulkier. And by putting his hand, just one hand in his pocket and then one arm around his partner, it just makes him look slimmer. And my friend in the green shirt, this, when she's facing this way, it just makes her wider here, whereas at an angle, it's just a better look. And she also has a much better jawline because she's at an angle. And here's a great example too of like Daphne in the middle. If she had her arms up, it wouldn't have been as slimming as her at an angle and one arm up, and then she's got her other arm around Ashton, right? And all three of them are at a good angle. They're holding something. So just remember, angle and only one arm up. You should never put both arms up. All right, another example. You can see all the girls are at an angle. One's holding her drink, one holding her drink down, one has on her hip. Just trying to avoid everybody putting their hands on their hip, right? Because everyone wants to do that. So just try, like, have a little discussion of like, it's my turn, or you did it last time. Don't everyone put their hands on their hip. The guys are facing forward. They look great. I mean, they look wider, but they're guys, right? So that's what you want. And honestly, we don't really care how the guys look. All right, so this is my never. Like I didn't want to give many examples of bad posing because I didn't want to make anyone feel bad, but this is a big no-no. You never, no matter how much you want to be in that group photo, never lean back, never lean into a group. You're gonna have no jawline, you're gonna see up your nose, your butt's gonna be closer to the camera. It's never a good look, so never lean in. Just be like, I'll sit this one out, or get up and walk behind people, okay? Never lean back. All right, so large group photo tip. This is pretty easy, I think. Create levels. If it's a big group, you want them on stairs, you want them on stages, you want to be able to see everybody evenly. I really try and avoid the sorority squat. These are professionals, they're attendees. Nobody should be squatting, nobody should be sitting on the ground if you can avoid it. So try and use different levels. Make sure they can see you. I always say, if you can't see me in my camera, I can't see you in this photo, right? So make sure that they can see you, have them move. And then also, if you can, as a photographer, get higher than the group, get on a ladder, get on a chair. And then that way the people in the back aren't looking down. They can look at you evenly. All right, so when hiring an event photographer, first question, is their name Kelli Price? If not, move on. I'm just kidding. Okay, so seriously, questions to ask. We're not going to discuss pricing because pricing is going to vary based on your event, their experience, where they're located. I've seen all kinds of different pricing, but what you can ask is what's included, and that is what's the minimum, what's their maximum. Like my rate is either a 4-hour minimum or an 8-hour maximum. So if it's a 10-hour day, then we need to discuss, do you want me for those extra 2 hours? And then what's the additional hours? Okay, then you're also gonna just verify that editing is usually involved, included, which I think it usually is, or if you have any other services that you are interested in, if you want a slideshow created, if you want headshots like of your executive team, or you have a guest speaker who has a really terrible headshot. I typically do charge, I have a different rate for my headshots than my event photos because the editing is different. Now, if it's like 1 or 2 headshots, it's usually super easy. But if it's a whole team, you'll want to discuss that. Ask if they have an external flash. That means the flash that comes on their camera that's going to pop up that they have no control over. You want them to have an external flash and know how to use it and really be able to control the light. So if it's bright, dark, you know, the award ceremony, they know how to use it. Have they ever photographed a corporate event before? Weddings are different. Doesn't mean that a wedding photographer can't do a corporate event, but the flow, I think the expectations are a little bit different. The pace is different. So if they've only ever done events, you may just really want to sit through the run of show with them a little bit more in detail so that they're more prepared, especially like during an award ceremony or the timing, or when you have you know, meetings. It's just a little different. So you want to discuss that with them. What is their turnaround time for edited photos? I've seen anywhere from like a day to a couple weeks, or I've heard some people are like, oh, we haven't had our photos for months. It should not take any more than 3 to 4 weeks at the most. So make sure that you're getting your photos in a timely manner when you want them. Can they provide 20 to 25 highlights a day? This, of course, is only if you want it. This is great if you have an event app, you want to show photos during the event, for social media during the event, or maybe an award slideshow at the end of the evening. So just ask if they charge extra for that or if they can do it. I usually do it super easy. Ask if they have reliable assistants or second shooters. And this is for larger events, maybe with 500 attendees, or you have a lot of activities, you have a lot of breakouts, you have a lot of things going on at the same time, and your photographer, like sometimes I can bop around into different breakouts and it's easy, but if they really wanted me to sit in one breakout and capture everything, I wouldn't be able to get another breakout. So you want to make sure that you have the coverage that you need. Okay, so now it's time for our photo critique. We just have 2 photos. I'm gonna just click through them really quick and show them in full view, and then I'm gonna look at chat. So if you have any comments about why you like these photos, just let me know and we can have a quick little discussion. So first one is this awesome shot from Pam Shepard. I forget where it is. And then also this photo from Heather Helm from the Right on Point team. And I thought this was a good photo. So I'm going to open up.
So Kelly,
Yeah.
I did have, in the meantime, while some maybe asking additional questions, we did have one that they require expertise on panoramic pictures. Any tips on how to take the best panoramic pictures?
I definitely think you can't go too wide. I think if you start, you know, if you go from like behind you to over here, it's going to get too wide and warped. So try and narrow your panoramic so that you're getting, it's not going to be warped. I think that's the biggest thing. And of course, you're going to want good light. You're going to want to hold your camera still. And make sure that everything is even light. If you are dealing with an event space and it's super sunny in one spot and dark in one spot, it's not going to work. So maybe just when you take the panoramic, maybe just do the section of this part that's in the shade, right? So then that will be lit really well. So look at your light and don't go too wide.
Awesome. That is a great tip. Kelly, thank you so much. I think that was all for questions. I don't know if anybody else has another question. Or Kelly, any final thoughts and tips for us?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Let me go ahead and take out of your presentation. And Kathy, let me see where you are, Kathy. So you can ask, if you can just unmute yourself, Kathy, and ask Kelly your question.
How do I? Oh, here we go.
Hi.
Hi.
The iPhone thirds the grid. How do we put it on again?
So you're going to go into your camera settings.
Into the settings part. So I got to go into settings.
Go into settings, pull up camera. You're going to look for the camera section.
Grid.
And you got it? All right, cool. Yay, good. Can you open up the camera and show us what it looks like with the grid on?
Yes. Can you see the grid?
Yep. Yep, and there's the grid. Perfect.
Right. Thank you.
Yep. I see.
Thank you.
Thank
Kelly,
you.
another question. Is it worth downloading preset apps?
Presets.
Yep.
I'm torn with this. I always tell people when they edit to edit the photo how it looks when you took it, right? So try and avoid, I'm not a fan of anything that makes it look blurry or pink, or that's not how it looks in real life. And because in 5 years that's going to look like a dated photo. So if you're going to download any presets, I would just focus on the presets that make the photo pop a little bit more, but is not going to change how it looked when you took it. If that makes sense.
Hi, this is Kathy again. I have another question.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite iPhone editing app that you use that it's like you go to easy? It gives you quick what you need.
Actually, I just use the editing tools within the camera app.
Okay.
I think that's the quickest and easiest. That's what I use. I did just recently download the Lightroom app, but I think that might be a little bit more complicated because I know how to use Lightroom.
It's advanced for sure.
Yeah. I should have been prepared for that because there is one other app. No, I don't even really like that one. Yeah, I think if you learn the editing tools just within the app, then that will help you to look for other apps and then know how to use those because their functionality is similar. But yeah, I would just focus on the editing tools, and I'm happy if you ever want to talk about that. I'm happy to show you a few things on that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Josh really likes an app, Snapseed. That's
Okay. Yep, I know that one.
So
Snapseed. Thank you, Josh.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for your time. You are getting a lot of requests to share the presentation.
Oh, good.
Sure, that's not going to be an issue. We'll be able to share that and put it on the website.
Yep,
for everybody
definitely.
to see.
And I'll put some recommendations. I'll put a page in there about some apps and maybe a couple little tips about editing. It can be a little convoluted. So, and I'll put Snapseed in there and a couple other things that I know of.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that was fantastic, Kelly. We really appreciate it. Some amazing tips.
Thank you.
And it's belly button to hip. I got that one. That one's something.
Love that. Thank you.
The ladies are always looking for the best angles. No doubt about it. Well, thank you everybody so much. Don't leave just yet because we have something coming up. And first of all, go to Facebook, Sight Southeast. Make sure you're following, sharing. We want to see your pictures. We want you to log your miles. Kim, you got to step it up. I know you're logging them. Joyce, you said it. And
I have to
Scott
log them.
covered. I love her. Tell her, she's doing great. But everybody else, I will be David DePuma, come on, Tracy. We want to see those miles. Calling you out, Colleen, so it doesn't matter. You're getting called out and we need the support. Southeast has to win. And with no further ado, I do want to introduce Ms. Joyce Mendez from Discover Puerto Rico that is here on the call with us and also is going to be sponsoring some incredible prizes for the winners of the miles or minutes. There's going to be several winners, whether you're logging the miles, logging the minutes. We have amazing pictures. You already know how to get the angle. So no excuses on that. And Kelly already gave you all the tips you need. So Joyce, welcome.
Thank you, and thank you, Sight, for allowing Discover Puerto Rico the opportunity to sponsor a few gifts for the miles and minutes. So just like Jessica said, I would encourage all of you to log in your miles because Discover Puerto Rico is going to be offering some pretty cool prizes, and we do have a special grand prize for the top mile person. And just in all in good time, we will meet again. So while you're in home daydreaming of your next trip or your next vacation, I'm going to share a little video so you can see what your next experience in Puerto Rico would be like.
Super creative, cute.
Just a little teaser, so you guys gotta make sure that you log in those miles.
Yay.
Adorable.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll see if we can share it in the Facebook, so you can appreciate the video with the sound a little better.
Thank you. That was cute.
Thank you.
Awesome. So now we're gonna make sure we're logging the miles, everything. Kelly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for joining. Next week, we also have next Thursday another incredible presentation lined up for you, and we will on Thursday go over also who are going to be the top contendants to win the grand prize and give you a little time. So even if you haven't logged, make sure you log it. Nancy, you want to say anything else? I wasn't sure if you wanted to go ahead and kind of encourage everybody. But thank you again, everybody, so much for joining us, Side Southeast, and for anywhere you're in the country. Happy Friday Eve. And we're going to be going into the holiday weekend. So everybody stay safe, have fun, do anything you have to do to get active, whether it's inside, outside. Try to capture some amazing shots and share them with us so we all can see. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you all, and stay safe, everybody. We love you, okay? See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye,
Take care, Lynn.
Bye.
I think our boys are going to have to start shaving soon. I see a lot of beards.
Oh.
There's Joshy.
Oh yeah, look at
Where's
David.
Devin, you got a beard? Devin,
Yeah,
you got a
a little
beard?
dark in here.
Come
I know
on.
Russ had one.
Russ has started
I'll be
getting.
the
I'm shaving it today. I'm shaving it
Katuma's
today.
got
That's what you
one.
said the other day, Russ.
I
Scott's
know.
got one.
I gotta get the hedges out.
Hey, as long as us girls don't have a beard.
Right.
That looks great, Jess.
Take care, everybody.
See y'all.
Bye.
Thank you, Pam, for your photo. We didn't really do the critique, but thank you for sending that.
When my
You get
boys
a
get married, I'm calling you and flying you across the country.
Give me a call, Russ.
you get a
Well,
print of your
everybody.
photo and you can sign it yourself. So you have a signed print of your photo. That's the prize.
Yay.
Yay.